All right, everyone. It is 4:03, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Richie, are you on right now? Can you give a little shout out?
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing?
Perfect. All right,
Notice you can't talk, so that was a rhetorical question.
today's webinar is the 7 ways Holganix helps grow your business. Just so you guys are aware, because there's so many people on right now, you're all on mute. So if you do want to participate, go ahead and throw a question in the question pane or in the chat toolbox at the bottom that this slide is pointing out right now. You'll be able to communicate with us directly that way. So who are your hosts? So I'm on the left. My name's Katie, and Rich is on the right. And
I'm the goofy-looking dude there.
Yeah, very goofy. You guys are more than welcome to reach out if you have any additional questions. Our emails are there. So before we get started, I wanted to ask how many of you are currently using Holganix. So why don't you go ahead and answer it using the chat or question box. Are you guys shy or something? All right, so we got a guy using granular right now, another one that's testing. Two other people are using, okay, a bunch of other guys. Got some lawn and some granular product up there. All right, awesome. So it looks like most of you are currently using or you're testing. There are only a couple of you that aren't using Holganix. So for those of you that aren't using Holganix, welcome. For those of you that are, welcome back. So what services are you looking to grow right now? I'm going to go ahead and throw up a poll for this one. There are a couple choices there. You got lawn, fertilization, tree and shrub, flower care, mowing, if you're in landscaping as well, or other. All right, about 80% voted, Rich, so I'm just going to go ahead and share it. So, Rich, it looks like 50% of the guys here want to grow their lawn fertilization services. 25% are interested in tree and shrub, and the other 25% they want to grow something else that I don't have listed up here. So awesome. We got a lot of guys that want to grow.
Awesome. And just to comment on that, I think most guys realize that mowing is, while it's probably an easy business to grow, it's not a very high margin. So just keep that in mind as you're trying to pick what side of the business to grow, because you want to obviously maximize your margin. Revenue is great, but you really want margin.
Definitely, good point. So for those of you that aren't using Holganix yet, the definition of Holganix is, Holganix is a 100% organic plant probiotic that balances the soil's ecosystem, building strong roots and growing healthier, more resistant plants. And so it's really made up of 3 characteristics. You have the living beneficial microorganisms, the biological food sources that feed the living beneficial microorganisms, and lastly, helpful plant extracts and soil minerals. Rich, what are some of the microorganisms that are in our product that are some of your favorites?
So one of the big ones that I talk about most of the time is the mycorrhizal fungi. And what that does is it literally colonizes on the root of the plant in order to help the plant actually extend further out into the soil to be able to access nutrients and water and all sorts of things like that. They also have some other benefits, but those are the main ones. The other big one that is key in helping to reduce your fertilizer input is your nitrogen-fixing bacteria, which literally digest nitrogen, some of it out of the air, some of it out of normally unusable sources in the soil, and actually delivers it to the plant so that the plant can actually use it, and life is good, because what good is nitrogen if you can't use it?
Definitely.
But yeah, those are the two biggest ones that I talk about every day.
Yeah. And some of the biological food sources, I mean, off the top of my head, Rich, let me know if I'm missing any, but that comes back to the brewer's yeast, the
some of the molasses, some of the other simple sugars, complex sugars.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch in there that we probably don't even list on that component sheet. But it's all designed to help encourage the beneficial organism population and continue to help the plants.
Yeah. And then we have some helpful plant extracts and soil minerals. So like your kelps, for example, we have some micronutrients like calcium, copper, etc. And then some other cool ingredients like amino acids, humic and fulvic acids.
Yep.
Cool. So this is where we get to brag, Rich. So Holganix is it's been used on so it's been tested through 25 university studies, over 25 university studies, used by top PGA golf courses, professional athletic fields, landscape management, top 150 lawn and landscape companies, and we're continually evolving the product. It's one of our firm beliefs, one of our core values, in fact, is evolution, revolution. So we're continually looking at ways to grow the product, research the product, learn more about it, and really just make the product better, an easier experience for our users, and a better overall product. So something new that Dr. Bob was just telling me the other day, which goes back to the previous slide, but also to this piece on evolution, revolution, is the fact that we have over 800 bacteria species in the product, which is insane. 800. I mean, that just gets me excited. I don't know about you, Rich. I'm a bit of a dork, though.
That's incredible to me. Originally, when I first started working here, we thought it was somewhere in the 200s, but to find out that it was 800 is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and over 20 species of fungi too. But I love that 800 number. Yeah. All right, so let's dig into the meat here and stop with the Holganix commercial. So the first way that Holganix really helps you grow your business is because it differentiates your business from your competition. So Seth Godin, who's a marketing guru, author of a ton of books. Our favorite's Purple Cow, and Seth Godin's usually one of the guys we go to in our marketing webinars because he's so influential. He has this great quote that says, "How dare you settle for less when the world has made it so easy for you to be remarkable?" So as you look at the competition in your area, what separates you from the competition? What makes you unique? You know what? Let's ask that question to the audience, Rich. Let's see what makes these guys unique. What makes you unique compared to the competition? Go ahead and throw it up in the question pane or the chat box. Okay, Rob says quality results. So he's really big on quality results. What about some of you other guys? One of you said family business. Awesome. Another family business. Local. So we got a lot of really great differentiators here, Rich. But what's that, Rich?
So on this point, I do want to kind of challenge some of you guys that, all day, every day I talk to different lawn care companies, and a lot of them I'll ask that question to, and often I get the same answer. So by definition, is that a differentiator? So, it is awesome. It is awesome that you're local. It is awesome that you're, you have the best service in town and all of those things. But, I think it was Barrett who, ran, the company that evolved into Happy Lawn, and their motto basically used to be that we suck a little bit less than ChemLawn. So, if you can really dial in on what makes you actually special and something that makes people in your area talk about you, some people might go and say, they have the best service in town, which is a great differentiator. And that's more of an accolade really than a differentiator. But, you can, if they go and say, wow, they're doing something that's totally different, that's going to bring you so much more than just being able to say, yes, we have the best service in town. So I just challenge you guys to think about that. And, maybe it's not Holganix that makes you totally different, but a lot of our customers choose to use Holganix as a differentiator to go to their customers and say that, not only do we have the best service in town, and not only are we a local company that you can call and get someone on the phone every time, but we're actually going to give you the same green weed-free results while we're using up to 50% less chemicals than anyone else in our market.
Right.
So, if you can say something like that, that's much more powerful than, yes, we have the best service in town, and you kind of have to choose us because you'd be kind of silly if you don't.
Yeah, excellent point. So our second big point here is Holganix helps combat the growing green movement and regulations. So this is an audience question. Are any of you guys dealing with increased government regulations in fertilizers and pesticides right now? Go ahead and throw it in the question chat box. And if you're not, that's okay. I mean, let's be honest here and up front. So Rob, he is suffering. He has some fertilizer regulations. Let's see. Bee labeling inspection. Yeah, excellent point. Don says pesticides, which probably goes back to that bee labeling inspection. So no matter what your area is, regulations are increasing. And if they haven't caught up to you yet, they will. When we first started at Holganix, or at least when I first started at Holganix, there wasn't that many government regulations yet in place, but they've slowly taken off. So Holganix is really a tool that allows you to get ahead of the government regulations, cut back on your fertilizers and your pesticides now before the government makes you. Another big thing is the growing green movement. So this graph shows the fact that the United States is the world's largest market for organic products. And that's really speaking to agricultural products, not necessarily lawn care. But it paints an excellent picture. Organics matter to our customers in the United States. And providing a service that's organic will not only help you differentiate yourself from the competition, but it's something that your customers really want. Anything you want to add to that?
And guys, yeah, even if you're not using a 100% organic program, I honestly don't even recommend that because your customers might not see the results that they're looking for out of an organic program. That completely, it's great over the long term, but in the short term, they're generally going to have to wait a little while to see the results.
Yeah.
So if you can say that you're using an organic-based program, and some people might challenge you on that, but you can say that the base of my program, the majority of the inputs that I'm putting down are organic. I use chemicals to make sure that you're getting your results quickly and you're getting the results you want, but it's based in an organic solution. So just by saying that, it allows you to use the marketing term, and you still get the benefits out of it.
Excellent point. This slide, which really speaks to what you were saying, actually, Rich, is the greater greener goal. With every acre you use Holganix on average, you have eliminated the use of 40 pounds of nitrates, 10 pounds of phosphates, 35 ounces of concentrated pesticides. I mean, those are beautifully worded metrics to use and to brag about to your customers if you are using Holganix. This is a great way to show that you are going green, and it's a great measurable way. Holganix, going back to that, we have our own, what we call our greater greener goal, which is to eliminate 100,000 pounds of nitrates, or 100 million pounds of nitrates, 25 million pounds of phosphates, and 100 million ounces of concentrated pesticides by Earth Day 2020. So we set that goal, I guess, in 2010, 2009, and we're slowly making our way towards that. So really exciting. So our third point here is that Holganix increases productivity with logistics. And so, Rich, I'm showing them right now the RAD 330 and the inductor system and all that jazz. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, so if any of you have used our inductor system or the RAD system, one of the big things that we've tried to do is to help lawn care companies is to help lawn care companies try and be as efficient as they possibly can. So, you know, we've developed this inductor bowl that you basically put all of your inputs into this bowl, and you see to the left of the rad there is a water tote. And what we do is there's a very large pump on the bottom of that bowl, and what it does is suck everything out of the bowl there and puts it right into the truck. So with this system, we're able to fill a truck in about 12 minutes into a 200-gallon tank. So, you know, by doing that, you know, if you're ever using a garden hose to fill your truck, or if you're lugging bags of urea up into the truck to pour in, and first off, it's not very safe, and second, it's very slow and tedious. I've seen guys go from 45, even an hour and a half to fill up a truck down to 12 minutes. So if you're in the size range and if you qualify for a RAD 330 or more, then we'll give you one of those units to be able to increase the efficiency on your business, and that should more than help pay for any possible increased costs by using Holganix.
And you know, just for those guys that don't know, Holganix, because it's a living product, it has to be refrigerated. So that's why we have things like the RADs and the refrigerator units, which you get for free when you use Holganix, if you use within a certain percentage, or not percentage rather, but a certain amount. So number 4, Holganix reduces customer callbacks. So healthier plants equals happier customers. Right now we're looking at a picture from Growing Green in, I believe they're in North Carolina, maybe it's South Carolina. They were one of our root winners a couple of years back, and I just love this picture because he literally took a shovel and went in there to remove the roots. He really wanted to win. He had 9-inch roots there. So, Rich, can you talk a little bit about callbacks?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, Holganix is trying to make healthier plants, and the healthier plants are better able to resist disease, pest issues, and drought issues, and all sorts of other stressors that we put our plants under. So if one of these scenarios were to happen to your lawn, a Holganix lawn is more likely to stay green, stay lush, stay full during one of these situations, as opposed to, you know, the neighbors who are going to be calling their lawn care providers as soon as something happens. So the healthier we can keep our lawns, the less calls you're going to be getting to come and do service calls for weeds, for disease, for brown patch, for bug problems, whatever you've got. And we're not going to stop calling. I'm not going to tell you that this is a silver bullet, but it will help dramatically reduce them. And actually, Nathan from Pure Green, I think I'm saying his company right, he talks about that all the time, how it's reduced his callbacks tremendously.
I'll send you guys that that article about callbacks from Nathan. I think that's a great one to share. But really, the cool thing about Holganix is that it contains so many amazing, living, beneficial microorganisms, you know, food sources for those organisms and organic additives that you're able, when you have something that's broken within the soil food web, when something's not quite working or when something needs to be fixed, Holganix, just putting Holganix in, it will help strengthen the entire ecosystem, fill in any gaps that might be missing. So it's a really very cool proactive approach to, you know, caring for your turf. And we're not saying it's going to fix every problem. you still need, a little bit of fungicides and a little bit of herbicides and all that jazz. And you go to your Holganix sales representative in order to create your program. But Holganix is definitely going to help. So number 5, Holganix reduces the reliance on urea pricing. So right now, urea pricing is pretty low. Fertilizer pricing is pretty low. But if you guys remember back in 2000, really it was between 2011 and 2012, urea pricing was super high, and it'll go up again eventually. And the cool thing about Holganix is that by going hybrid, by using less fertilizers, you're decreasing your reliance on fertilizers, which will really help you when fertilizer prices go back up. So it's being proactive from a pricing situation too. So number 6, Holganix is a tool for education. So as you grow, your company grows with you. So we've created a ton of tools available to you to help you grow from a business perspective, marketing perspective, operations perspective, agronomy perspective. Any kind of topic you're interested in learning about, we've probably got something on it. We have ebooks, articles, video, and webinars, of course, which you guys are all familiar with at this point. So I'm going to spend just a minute showing you guys where to find some of these tools. So right now we're on Holganix.com. If you want to find a quick way to get to all the fun tools, if you go under News and Events, the Holganix blog, that's going to give you a ton of awesome information. And you can even go by topic. On the left-hand side, we have different blog series. If you're interested in the science behind Holganix, if you're interested in marketing hints and tips, maybe you want to look at some lawn care stuff, that'll all be over there. You can click on it and it'll show you the articles that are on that topic. The other thing I want to point out is under How We Help You webinars. You probably already know where this lives, but if you don't, if you got this invitation a different way, then this is where all of our webinar series live. And we constantly update this. We try to do at least 1 to 2 new webinar topics a month. So there's always something new for you to learn. And then if you go under Holganix University, select lawn care, fill out a form, and maybe it wants to work for me. Be slightly embarrassing if it decided not to. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is Lawn Care University, so it's going to have tons of awesome information. If you go under ebooks, that'll give you all of our ebooks, and there's some great ones there for you. So back to my presentation here. Number 7 is tools for marketing. So again, as you grow, we grow, and we want to make sure that we're continuing to build businesses here, and not just ours, but yours. So some of the cool tools, if we go back to Holganix University, we've created tons of tools for you to steal. So please steal them. If you go under marketing tools, this will be your library of goodies, essentially, to access. You've got postcard designs that talk about using Holganix. And let's see, got lawn signs, door hangers, brochures, and marketing boxes. So I do want to point out this brochure as one of my favorites. This one is the kids brochure, is what we kind of nickname it here at Holganix. And it talks about why using Holganix makes you different. What are you providing that Joe Schmo lawn care next door isn't? That's what this brochure talks about. And we give up to 250 free brochures to our customers. So if you want any, just go ahead and put your address and contact information in the question box, and I'll get them out to you tomorrow. The other materials, all of the designs are totally free. All you have to do is send me your logo, or the marketing team your logo and your information, and we'll plop it in, and we send it to you. So you can go ahead and have it printed, or you can have it printed through our third-party printer. And we use Real Grain. I don't know if you guys use Real Grain systems at all. And then the marketing boxes were another big thing I wanted to point out. So one of you, or at least a couple of you guys said you were looking at growing tree and shrub. So this is a great source for you. These marketing boxes are compiled. There's a ton of goodies on different topics. So if you were looking at aeration for the fall, you might access that box. Flower, tree and shrub. So we'll look at tree and shrub right now. So in the tree and shrub box, you've got a downloadable postcard that talks about tree and shrub that you can send out to customers and prospects. A letter to send out to current customers touting the benefits of including tree and shrub. A video you can upload on your website, share on social media, on your blog, newsletter, whatever. And then it goes through some educational materials like steps for pricing out a tree and shrub application. I think there's some social media posts in there that you can access, some really pretty pictures and things. Another good one that just came out, literally just launched it today, is the summer weather in a box. So that'll talk about, it really helps you educate your customers, your homeowners, on how to care for their lawn in the summer. So I really encourage you guys to check them out. In fact, I will send you guys a link. So that's to the marketing boxes. That's your shortcut, so you don't have to put in all your information. And this is to the entire Holganix University. All right, so this is some of the tools that we already talked about. So you got your postcard designs, yard signs, door hangers, brochures, marketing boxes, videos, tons of great stuff. All right, so at this point, you've learned the 7 ways that Holganix helps you grow your business. So let's open the floor for questions. Does anyone have any questions regarding anything that we covered? Okay, got some guys that want some of the brochures. And oh, I should have mentioned we just reordered our brochures, so it'll be I won't be able to get them out to you tomorrow, or I probably won't be able to. I have to check our stock. I may have to wait a week. All right, so John Cross wants to know how many of the living organisms are alive in the granular. So that's an excellent question, and I'm actually going to unmute David Underwood. David, are you there? David?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Hey, we lost Rich, so I'm hoping you can help me answer some of these questions.
Sure, what was the question again?
Sure, so John wants to know how many, and in specific, which organisms are lost when you go granular. So I didn't know which organisms in specific. Do you want to talk a little bit?
Sure. The quickest answer is that the quickest 2 that I can think of is the nematodes and the protozoa. Mm-hmm. We are going to still have mycorrhiza. We're going to have some bacteria. It's just not going to be in the same numbers and volumes that it would be in the liquid. It's still a viable product once it hits water, so they'll start to move and shake. But the protozoa and the nematodes don't translate to a granular form. But the numbers change from bag to bag, batch to batch. To be honest with you, Stephen Lang and I have talked about that many a times. So I don't want to back myself into a corner and tell you exactly which ones survive and don't survive. We just know that the nematodes and protozoa don't.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anibal is applying the product through an injector in the irrigation system. How long do the living organisms survive in the tank?
You want me to take that one as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, gotcha. So you're talking about once they've been mixed?
So he doesn't say whether or not they've been mixed. Do you want to go ahead and answer that, Anibal? Yes, they've been mixed.
Sure. Okay. So without being mixed, if you keep them in and out of the refrigerator, they will live indefinitely as long as they're not outside of the refrigerator in the direct heat being shaken with UV lights. They can go in and out of the refrigerator for 48 hours typically. And once they've been mixed in a tank, mixed with water, ready to apply, we always educate and try to communicate that they should be applied within 48 hours. If you run a tank all the way down to less than 25 gallons on the third day, we recommend you spray that out before you backfill or top off that tank. So in most cases, 48 hours after fill, you have to spray it. If you do have a little bit left on the third day, just remove it before you backfill.
Cool. Eric wants to know, can it be applied with a Z-spray or Turf Co? So Z-spray can be applied with. I know that one personally, but I don't know Turf Co. Do you know?
I don't. I'm not familiar with that product. Yeah. The main thing about Holganix is water volume, droplet size. Mm-hmm. So if it is a small volume sprayer, meaning if it has less than 45 gallons, then you're going to have to adjust the nozzles, adjust the tips, remove some screens, and possibly water it in. So with Holganix, we want to have droplet size. The water is the taxi to carry Holganix down through the crown into the actual root system or down into the soil itself. So I'm not familiar with that piece of equipment. If he wants to call me afterwards and we can discuss it, please go ahead and give him my number. Okay.
But I'm sure for the most part, most sprayers are compatible with Holganix. You just have to swap out the nozzles and the screens.
That's correct.
All right, cool. Anyone else got any questions? Hopefully it's something marketing related, so I feel a little bit useful here. Come on, guys. All right. I'll let you all off the hook. We had some pretty good questions. All right, so in conclusion, as you guys sign off, please take our survey. There will be a survey that pops up afterwards. It allows us to keep on improving the webinar experience for our customers and prospects. So, please take that survey for us. And then tomorrow, look for a follow-up email with the recorded version of this webinar and any resources and information mentioned during the webinar. So I'll send out that Nathan Brandon case study we talked about regarding callbacks and links to all the fun resources we mentioned as well. And then if you guys have any other questions, that's my contact information and Richie's. And I will also send you right now David Underwood. That's and his name is David Underwood. And he was the guy that was helping out Sal with the questions toward the end. He's the sales manager for the Southeast? Is that what we call you?
Yeah, Southeast product specialist.
Something like that. All right, guys.
Yeah, I made it up.
You made it up? I like it, though. It's catchy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for attending today. I really appreciate all your questions and your engagement throughout the webinar. You guys have a great Memorial Day weekend and a happy Holganix experience.